Howdy, glowworms. Welcome back. I want to apologize for being slightly MIA for 2 weeks. And by slightly I mean like fully. Like I just like didn't say anything for 2 weeks. And I didn't post any new episodes. Sorry about that. I was like super busy with work, which is like not a real excuse or anything, but I was basically working a lot more at because we are launching soon at the startup that I work at. So yeah, I was a little bit caught up in that. And I like did not have the brain space nor the energy to like put together and record another episode. Even like I thought about just like throwing out like a couple short ones that would just be like super low key, and I like literally just like couldn't do it. So there was that, but we're back now, better than ever, and I wanted to do something a little different this week. I'm thinking of like making a few episodes just about different skincare brands I love, and just really highlighting some of the cool brands that are out there, and just talking about sort of like my experience with them, like what, the products, the brands themselves, and just delving a little bit deeper because there are a lot of like small brands that have really interesting stories, and there's some bigger brands that have like these crazy histories and everything. And I thought it would be just sort of like fun to do a couple highlights. So this week I want to start off this sort of series, non-series, I don't know if it's going to be a series, but I want to start us off with Krave Beauty, a brand that I have mentioned before, but I feel like it's such a small brand and it's relatively unknown. Like I've actually, I haven't really met a ton of other people or really anyone else than myself who like uses this brand. So, but I've like recommended their products on here and in person, and I'm like, you know what? I should just talk about a little bit about like this brand and like sort of, but like at least from my perspective, where they've come from and everything. I found this brand. I knew about it since its launch because I've been following Leah Yu, the founder, on like YouTube and like social media and stuff for years. And she really was somebody who led me, like she was like really a voice in the skincare industry and like the sort of like skincare influencer world that spoke a lot to a lot of the things that like I agree with now, which are like using less products on your face and trying not to like consume too many products, try not to like just buy things just because they're trending or because they have, whatever fancy schmancy ingredient list or something. Sometimes that's not what we need. Sometimes your skin really does just need to like have the bare minimum done, just like cleanse, moisturize, sunscreen, nothing too crazy. And her YouTube channel and now her brand, that's really that's like the main message. It's just like their entire thing is about like slowing down, doing less, and just letting your skin, just be, just let your skin do its thing. You don't have to do too much to achieve great skin, or, at least to improve whatever skin conditions you might have. So when I started watching her, there was like no inkling of a brand. Like I am a bit of an OG in that way. And she's one of my faves. She is the reason that I tried out Tamanu oil for the first time on my skin, which my skin did like, but I think it was like kind of difficult for me to get my hands on Tamanu oil because I was in college at this time, and I was like also still very much coming out of my phase of like just doing like a 10 or even 12-step Korean skincare routine, doing the most, probably messing with my skin barrier. She like was one of the first YouTubers that I saw that really spoke about like the skin barrier and like how like the products like CeraVe and Cetaphil and stuff will just have ceramides in them to help repair your skin so that instead of, just treating the issue itself, you can like treat the like actual cause of the issue, which is that you've probably messed up your skin's barrier and it's, allowing for whatever kind of inflammation and having reactive skin and like extra sensitivity and things like that. All those things that can end in more serious or more obvious skin conditions, right? So she really introduced me to Tamanu oil, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Just like using sort of one like very calming anti-inflammatory, like basically just the one ingredient to address, multiple kinds of skin concerns. So I was very excited when she launched her brand. I'm going to look up really quick. I'm like, I don't even know when Krave Beauty launched exactly, but I remember they basically just had, if I remember correctly, Great Barrier Relief, which is a serum I still use to this day, and it helps your skin barrier. It has tamanu oil in it, and it's just a very calming, soothing serum. And they had, what was it, Kalalooya, the way that I still can't say it all these years later, but it's like an exfoliating toner. And so it was very much at first, I think if I can't remember if they had their cleanser in the first, sort of round, but it was back in 2017, but when she first started this brand. So yeah, I was definitely smack in the middle of college. But they also have like their cleanser, and I remember I was also very excited to try their cleanser, which I also still use to this day, their matcha hemp hydrating cleanser. I don't have these products in front of me or anything. These are all off the dome because this podcast remains off the dome always. Like nothing is ever scripted on here. Anyways, so she started with like just their core products, super simple: cleanse, exfoliate / tone, and serum. They have a moisturizer now. There's like another serum now. But at first it really was just, I'm pretty sure it was just that trio. And I loved all of them. And one thing about this brand is that they literally only have, I think, 6 products now? 7. They have 7, if I remember correctly. They have an oil cleanser now, their foaming cleanser, the matcha hemp hydrating cleanser, the Kalalooya, their exfoliating toner, Great Barrier Relief, the other serum, which I should know the name of, Oil La La, which like I should know the name of it because I use it every single night. Oh, and then they also have a body lotion that's the Great Body Relief, and a moisturizer, Oh So Simple, and a sunscreen. And while that might have sounded like kind of a longish list, as I was saying it, it's really, it's only a handful of products, which is like crazy when you think about like Paula's Choice or Estee Lauder or a lot of the big American skincare players that have a huge number of products, like a huge product offering. They have like basically this number of products, the same number of products as Krave Beauty, but in like different lines. Like Paula's Choice will have like an entire acne line, and an entire anti-aging line, an entire like whatever brightening line or something, with each of these types of products. And Krave Beauty really has focused on paring down their product offerings to only the things that they think really are like effective and necessary, and not creating products just to create them. One like big example of this is I was very lucky to win randomly like a giveaway on their Instagram, and I got their like Great Barrier Relief lip balm, which they were thinking of coming out with as their next product offering. And they decided against it, which is like slightly disheartening because I actually have been enjoying using the lip balm. Like they like sent it with a little keychain and it was super cute. And I was like, oh my God, like, yes, I will be repurchasing this. And it's a solid lip balm and my lips seem to like it. The packaging, not the greatest ever, but I was like, who cares? Because obviously it was like kind of like their test packaging. Like it was just like an initial run probably that I got this tube out of. But I was like, they'll fix that. Who cares? It's a solid product. But in the end, they decided to not actually release it. So I've stopped using mine because I'm like, well, this is kind of like weirdly a collector's item now. I'm like halfway through the tube. I'm like, oh, I will not be able to repurchase this. Also, I'm probably one of just a handful of people who ever got this product. So it now just sits in my room. But they fully just decided to not release it because they were like, hey, we can't really see this adding to the space as much as we had hoped. And like, there's like packaging issues, which I was like, yes, there are. So, so I guess and they're like very, very pointedly, thoughtful about packaging and sort of having recycled packaging and like things that are recyclable and, really trying to reduce waste and recycle as much as possible. So that kind of leads me into my next thing about them. One of the reasons that I love this brand so much, I'm not usually one to like absolutely drool over brands. Like I don't worship companies, you know, like I think that's weird and I'm like obvious like kind of anti-capitalist. So it's like not often that I'm like I absolutely love this brand, but Krave Beauty is one of those brands that I'm like I actually can say with my chest that like I love this brand and I like really love the things that they stand for. So I mentioned how they were like concerned about packaging and everything. All of their products, I'm pretty sure like are in like recyclable or recycled packaging, and they have like a huge focus on sustainability. One of the really cool things that they did in the past was, or I guess they still do, of course, is their oil cleanser. Instead of just using any old oil, they actually use recycled like grapeseed oil, and it's a byproduct from a completely different industry. So they like sourced this byproduct that otherwise probably would have just been waste, like it would have just been thrown out. They sourced that and used that as the main ingredient in their oil cleanser. And I have used their oil cleanser before. I like it. I've gone back to using like a different one more so because I like a balm instead of having to use like a tube for my oil cleanser. But like I did like the product and everything. I've tried everything from them except for their moisturizer. And so that's kind of next on my list. Next time I order from them, I will be trying it and reporting back. But they did that. So they basically went out of their way to source an ingredient for a new product that would not only get the job done and get it done well, but also remove waste from the environment, you know, or at least, you know, like repurpose a byproduct from another industry in a really smart and thoughtful way. And I was like, wait, I love this so much. They've had other sustainability initiatives. They have donated a lot of their proceeds, I believe, just to actually saving like the Great Barrier Reef. That's like what Great Barrier Reef is sort of like a pun on, is the Great Barrier Reef. Because of course that also has not been doing well for years and years, as many of us know. So they have a ton of sustainability focuses and initiatives and everything. And I just really respect that because they, it's like Leah, you did not have to go that hard, but she decided to. And I'm like, girl, I will support your brand forever and ever. Just keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, I guess I'll speak a little bit to my favorite products from them, and sort of why I use them. Starting with the one that I keep bringing up, Great Barrier Relief. I every time I have a breakout, I love to exfoliate the hell out of my skin to try to get rid of that breakout as quickly as possible. But of course, when you exfoliate a ton, you then can mess up your like skin barrier pretty darn quick. You can destroy it. Which is why I'm always like, be careful if you're using especially like a chemical exfoliant or anything. Like, don't overdo it. Your skin will probably either break out worse or react in some other way, or you'll like burn yourself. So like, always take it easy. But that being said, there are times where like I'm really going for it, and if I'm like using retinol regularly and then on my like non-retinol days I'm exfoliating, I just know my skin's gonna like go crazy. So every night, or rather right now, every morning, I've been using Great Barrier Relief after I have to like update y'all with my current routine because it's changed since episode 1 of this podcast, since like when I first like talked about like my routines and stuff. But right now I've been using retinol at night, and then the Dermalogica microfoliant in the morning is my morning cleanser. And that's been working great for me, but I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of like skin turnover and exfoliation. So I've also been using Great Barrier Relief under my moisturizer in the morning. And that, I think, has been really helping my skin to recover well every day from the, mild abuse that I put it through. I've been using that, and it like also has been sort of working as like adding to my moisturizer sort of during the summer, because like in the summer, of course, I don't want a super heavy moisturizer. So I've been doing that and then following up with the CosRX Snail Mucin cream as my moisturizer, because that's very lightweight. And after putting this Great Barrier Relief serum that has like tamanu oil in it, like I really don't need a super heavy moisturizer on top of that. And because I'm gonna go in with sunscreen as well, yeah, I'm trying not to like totally overdo it, right? So that's been a favorite for years. I've repurchased that product I don't know how many times. They over the years have changed the packaging to make it so that you really get every last drop of product out of the bottle, because they really are just like, hey, like let's reduce like waste, like let's try to make this as sustainable as possible. And I think they've spoken before about why they don't have like glass packaging and why they decided to go with plastic and like things like that. And like they have like on the box, that the very recyclable box that it comes in, it has like instructions for recycling and everything. And I love that. I also now, in addition to that, at night I've been using their Oil La La serum, because I did have that crazy breakout a couple months ago, and I was like, Oil La La is supposed to be like oils that help with breakouts, and they definitely did. And I love to mix literally 1 or 2 drops of retinol. I still use the Ordinary's Grand Active Retinol. I mix 1 or 2 drops of that into the Krave Beauty Oil La La at night, so that I get a good amount of retinol, but like not a ton, since I'm doing it every night. And I also get like the moisturizing factor of putting this like oil-based serum on my face. And like, before anyone says anything, yeah, I know having a bunch of oil-based serums on your face isn't for everyone, but it's definitely for me, and it works for my skin. And I have like, actually, honestly, I think these serums, despite being oil-based, would work for almost anyone. I think most people's skin would react well to it, even if they're an oily skin type. And I think the Oil La La sort of even like would help to rebalance somebody's oily skin. And it's like, it's not a super crazy product or anything. So, like, you're probably not going to react to it unless you're allergic to an ingredient. Yeah, so I highly recommend either of their serums for literally anyone, which, as y'all know, I never recommend products for everyone. Like, that's just not a thing I do because, depending on your skin, your different people's skin likes different things. But with Krave, I'm like, no, like, they have, for the most part, products that I would recommend to anyone. The other product that I use religiously is their matcha hemp hydrating cleanser. This one, I want to say is, I have to like look it up. I literally cannot remember, like, of course, the history of every product because that would be insane of me. But this cleanser is just super gentle. It's a little bit foamy, but not like super foamy because, surfactants are kind of the harsh part of cleansers, and you want them on some level to like, help you get clean. But if you have too much of them, then they'll strip all of the oil out of your skin and leave you, super tight and dry. So I'm literally looking at their website right now to find out more about what all is in there. But yeah, I don't think that there's anything recycled in this in particular, but it does have it has matcha, hemp seed oil, and sodium PCA, and they're literally all just like calming, moisturizing ingredients, which is great. Because I really don't like washing my face and then it being like squeaky clean. Like, if your face is squeaky clean when you wash it, you've overdone it. Your skin is like a bit too dried out. Your skin is stripped of its natural oils, and like it does need some of those natural oils. So I just have always loved this cleanser. It's like a very different foaming cleanser experience than what people are probably used to, especially if you're an acne prone person like me. Then yeah, you're probably used to like some of those super intense cleansers that just like suck the life out of your face, but then they also kind of like will dry out your acne and like help get rid of it a little bit faster. The thing is, then your skin barrier is probably messed up and you're probably going to get more acne because you've like messed it up so bad. So it's like that endless cycle. And this is one of those cleansers where I'm like, it's nice that it's nice and gentle, and I know my skin is clean without being so overstripped that I'm just going to end up getting acne anyway. So, on to the next one. I, honestly, aside from those, there's, not currently, another product of theirs that I regularly use. I used to use their Beat the Sun, but they had to reformulate it after Sunscreen Gate a couple of years ago, which I've mentioned before, which was where like a bunch of Korean beauty brands found out that their sunscreen testing facilities like weren't accurate and their SPF numbers were way lower than what they thought they were and what they were advertising, and it was a whole scandal. And Krave Beauty, I believe, was slightly caught up in that as well. So they did reformulate their Beat the Sun, and also I can't quite remember, but I think their sunscreen in the US is different from their sunscreen in Korea because, of course, if you only have Korean filters that haven't been approved by the FDA here in America, you can't advertise something as a sunscreen, even though it literally is a sunscreen. It's literally just that the FDA is so slow and we don't have those filters like officially, listed as like sunscreens. Like, because of that, you can't advertise a lot of K-beauty sunscreens as sunscreen in the US. Super weird. And you can't sell it that way. So I think their formulation might be different here. But I loved the original formulation. I have yet to really try the new one. I think I tried it once because my sister had a bottle. But I am sticking to my Beauty of Joseon for now. Like, I am fully just committed to using that sunscreen for now. until I get sick of it, and then maybe I'll finally try another one. Friends have recommended me other ones, and I just like refuse to switch. I just bought 4 more bottles. Like, fight me. And then another product. I'm just gonna leave that there. Another product from Krave Beauty that I love is their Great Body Relief. I was dating a guy a couple years ago who, he would get like, he just had like weirdly like very reactive skin on his like shoulders and like upper arms, and would like sort of break out there and stuff, and like he was like, I cannot figure out why. Like, I try to do like this, I try to do that, and I was like, dude, you're doing way too much. Literally, just like after you shower, let's try just using Great Body Relief. And it helped him so much. But of course, he, being a dude, would like just ended up not keeping up with it, and I don't know if he still uses the product to this day. But while I was with him and while he was using it, it helped him so much with like his like body acne and like the like reactivity on his skin and stuff. So I feel like that's a really good one to try out, maybe if you have like any I don't know, dermatological issues on the rest of your body. I liked it. I remember, I think it was not like super greasy or anything, but it was like not like dry to the touch. So definitely something to consider. But I liked it overall. And it basically is like, I guess, a mixture of their Great Barrier Relief and their moisturizer. You know, it's just that in a bigger bottle. Yeah, that being said, the only product of theirs I haven't tried is their moisturizer, their Oat So Simple Water Cream. I think I already said that, but yeah. So I am definitely, if you ever want to try this brand, I'm definitely the girl to ask. I like I said, I'm not really one to be like a fangirl for brands, because like F capitalism, but this is definitely one brand where I'm like, wow, I can really say with my whole chest that like they're great. I'm like reading at the bottom of their website. They just became a certified B Corp, which is something to do with like sustainability and like ethics and stuff. Basically saying that they're a highly ethical company. They're climate neutral, plastic neutral, and they don't do animal testing, because Leah Yu is about that woke life, just like me, and I appreciate her for giving me a really good option with like really actually effective skincare products. Things that I'm not giving me products that I'm not like afraid to recommend to people. And I'm not like afraid that like some scandal's gonna come out about this company, but also let me not like jinx it or anything. Anyways, they're also very into inclusivity and stuff. So like, that's cool. Like, okay, we see you. Like, let's fucking go. Wait, I'm not supposed to curse. Oops, sorry. Anyhoozle, I'm gonna have to mark this episode as explicit. Oh no. Anyhoozle, that is really all I wanted to say about this brand. I just wanted to like highlight it, talk about my experience with it and with the products and everything, and encourage everyone to go check it out if you're like looking for any of the types of products that I mentioned. They're really cool. One tiny drawback is as far as I know, you can only get their products on their website, kravebeauty.com. I'm not sure if they sell it anywhere else. So I always just kind of like stock up on all of the things I like all at once. But they also have like sets that you can buy if you want to just like buy like a bundle. But yeah, I'd say everybody should check them out. Everybody should go look at their Instagram, see what they're all about. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of talking, a little bit more about just like cool brands and everything. and highlighting them, because there's so many brands, so many darn skincare brands out there. And like, I'm like, just like spend your money wisely. Don't buy the trendiest things. You know, you guys know I'm against like skincare trends, because like, what does that even mean? And like, if you're gonna give your money to some corporation, company, whatever, give it to somebody who's actually doing some good in the world. Let's not just like throw our money at Estee Lauder, who I'm pretty sure is like trying to, like, I don't know, have world domination or just destroy the environment or something. Like, what is their problem? Seriously. That being said, so nice to talk to you all. Go message me on my Instagram at glowlandskin. Give the podcast a rating, and let me know if there's any like brands that you want me to talk about in the future. I have a couple in mind that I want to probably highlight, but I'd love to hear any other suggestions. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.